Hello traders, good morning and good weekend. Vladimir here with a much better voice. I got sick on the last week and finally recovered. My voice is back. And so the energies, and we are here for the weekly review and forecast for the week to come. 15 of January 2017. Sounds nice, isn't it? 2017 is with us here. New year, new opportunities. Last week was pretty quiet in terms of opportunities that are coming from cycles. There were some moves, but mainly for scalpers. The last week, quick, fast reactions with momentums, and that's all basically. Nothing that come to cycle, but the opportunities are here. They'll be building up, and we have to stay tuned and keep an eye because we might get trade them very soon. So let's go over that together and see what we have. Let's start with the fundamental view that we have this week, and we have a lot. So let's see what we have. So the first thing, actually, it's Monday, which is going to be quiet because the US bank has holiday, and we are in Martin Luther King Day, as you can see here. Speech from Carney in Britain might be effective to the British peers, and then it begins basically with the WF annual meetings starting on Tuesday and goes through Wednesday and Thursday. We don't have nothing special on Tuesday besides the CPI in Britain and the GDT in New Zealand. We have a speech on Prime Minister Theresa May in UK, and that could be a warm-up for moves in the British pairs, as we are going and coming closer and closer to March, where the Brexit idea should officially begin. It goes through Wednesday, and it's warming up with the claimant count change in Britain, CPI in USA, and cash rate in Canada, and of course the press conference to come right after that. The Beige Book from the US to be published with a speech from the chairman, Yellen, the chairman of the Fed, of course. And on Thursday, take a look what's going on. Of course, we have in the night in between, we have unemployment rate in Australia, which expected to be quiet. And then we have the minimum bid rate in Europe, the press conference to come right after that, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, which normally has impact on dollar pairs, building permits, and again we have the second speech from Yellen. GDP in China with industrial production, and it's going to be very interesting, of course, in the last day of the WF annual meeting, and a CPI from Canada. So it's going to be busy week, which might bring some interesting moves. So let's go over these opportunities and see where we can have our focus on. Let's start with the euro dollar, the one that everyone likes. And as you remember, we said we should see the euro dollar dancing around its bullish move, which I believe today, actually this week, sorry, not today, should find a top for it somewhere around this area, and that could be anything like that, and we might see a down move right after that again. Now, why? First of all, the daily view, we got our false break, and now we are finally going above the last high. I still would prefer to see the euro dollar climbing towards this area. From there, I believe we should get much more interesting short opportunities on the short term. But we already in a great zone, as we have cycle here blocking us around the 61.8. It's dancing and it's fighting with a bearish divergence. So the bottom line is we could already start to see some kind of corrections. Okay, so how far I believe it could happen? We have this trend line which I believe should hold, and we have this supportive area which I believe should hold. Bottom line, I don't see that going to below than 105 down to 104.50, which the closer we get to this area, the better the buy opportunity could be. Now we drop lower to find some buy opportunities. We would need false breaks for that. So basically, if we get anything like that, false break, then we go lower lows, pull back, and then we can enjoy this shorter sell opportunity. There could be an alternative, and the alternative could be that we might see a range developing somewhere here, something like that, and then straight continuation to the previous daily high. Okay, so that's two scenarios I would definitely want to go and to trade. Look for the sell opportunities here, okay, or of course after the false break, that could be ideal. And alternative, look for sells. Not alternative, sorry, as continuation, look for sells from the last daily high, which is here, this area, closer to that. Or, right, or if we get the drop down, start to look for buy opportunities. So for example, if we get something like that, again back to this area, here start to look for potential buy opportunities to take us to above this zone. So that's the euro dollar. That's how I see that. If we take a look on some of the statistical opportunities on a daily chart for tops as we are rallying, we can see that we have 15, 17, 19. That's the levels, right? So it's it starts this knot. Basically, we can expect the next coming days to actually to behave as nice potential tops. And in terms of bottoms, if we will get correction, right, it actually should continue through, you see, because the most important days are coming after 2021, and then we have actually 23, 26. So there is a very good chance the euro dollar will find a top on the coming days, somewhere around this area, in terms of the days, of course. And from there, we should start to face correction. So that's definitely one to pay attention to. Pound dollar, which is yet dancing around the bottom, still potentially could do one more low, which would be ideal if we break below the 120 and complete some false break there. I would definitely prefer to see that if it would be possible by Mr. Market to get anything like that. However, we already got a false break on this bottom here. We got this momentumal change, which now might go and provide us some buy opportunity. What do I mean? As long as this bottom holds, we should be looking for false break, retraces, and buy. So we do have a false break here, but we did not have higher highs. So we do want to get the higher highs, pull back, and then we will be looking for buys. If we do break below this area, then we trade it carefully. How? Looking for possible second false break, and same story. Higher highs, pull back, and then looking for buys. All that is relevant as long as the bottom holds here and here. If we break below, let it go. We would be looking for the false break to complete on the daily and the weekly bottoms, which probably would lead us through the next months, and on March, with the Brexit, something bullish could maybe start and develop. So we keep an eye here. That should be very interesting opportunity. A lot of things would be decided by the UK news we have this week, and a speech from May later this week, so definitely worth to keep an eye. And here comes the euro pound, which is definitely interesting pair. We have been talking about that, and the euro pound is now correcting itself in terms of the 100, and it starts to be very interesting here as we from the bottom we are 50 candles on the first and we are 50 candles on the second. It is dancing around the 100, which make me of course think that we are in a potential sell zone. That's zone number one. If we continue higher from here, we are going to the 161.8, which is higher and around 0.80, a bit lower. And this is the place to look for the sell opportunities. And here we go. We got one. That's the way it behaves. We got a false break. We got a momentum change, and we are now in a sell zone. So as long as this stop does hold, we can look for possible sell opportunities. If this stop does not hold, if this stop does not hold, we can look for the second scenario to happen, which is another false break, lower lows, pullback, and a sell. Now, why we are in a sell? According to weekly cycle, we would expect movement in a range, right? Or second leg down. So for us, it is still under sell opportunities. We have a bearish hidden divergence here, followed by a 4-hour chart divergence. So the higher we actually climb, and we are high enough, the stronger the sell would be. And take a look, if we do go towards 0.80, that will be the top of the potential range where from the sell opportunity could be really, really monster. I am talking about this area, of course. And I don't know why I said 0.80 while I was meaning 0.90. Sorry. This is 80, and we're closer to the top of the range. Well, if we really climb there, that is going to be a massive, massive sell opportunity. But the question is, won't we get the sell currently? And that's definitely doable. And if we do, we are looking for the 38.2 as opportunity number one. And the next one would be to the bottom of this head and shoulders building up. You see this head and shoulders, guys? Boom, boom, boom. By the way, we got double shoulder here. We might get the same here. Okay, and then to the bottom of this neckline, and maybe even lower after that. Definitely want to watch. Next on the list is going to be the dollar yen, which is correcting its 4-hour chart cycle of this leg, and I believe is coming to form a bottom. Now, where this bottom could be, if we take a look, there are few ways it could get developing here. One of the legs, one of the opportunities is the 161.8, which is around 112. Okay. That could also be a very nice opportunity of what I call a triple cycle. Really, really good one. But there is a chance that we already got double cycle, right? It's a bit less relevant as we got 14, 15 candle versus 20, not the ideal one. So what I would like to see here in such situations is continuation towards the 161.8, and from there start to look for the potential buy opportunities and the potential block and reversal towards maybe even new high. So the bottom line here is we are waiting for the good buy opportunities around the 161.8 cycle of this Fibonacci expansion. Now, if we take a look on the statistical bottoms, we could see 16, 18, 19. Very, very possible days. We have 2023 also to come. So what do we know from that? Too many days, right? But what do we know from that? That the chances to get the bottom on the coming days are very high. Is that a guarantee? Definitely not. And that's why I say if we do get our 161.8 level right there, right on the dates we want, right, the date zone we want, and we start to look for the buy setup. How do we find a buy setup, by the way? On lower time frames, 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart, we start to look for false breaks, higher highs, retraces, and a buy. Now, this would be the false break, that would be the higher highs, and the retraces provide us the buy opportunity. So keep an eye here, definitely interesting one to follow. And that brings me to the next yen pairs like the euro yen, which is still dancing around the range it created. Now from here, that's one of two. We either go for one more high, complete the special cycle, which is huge opportunity, of course. Hit this back to the 126, 127, the one we talked about and wanted to see, or we go deeper from here, a bit more down, and then the push up. Definitely an opportunity as well. That's one to follow. Now we did have two false breaks in a row here, 1, 2, and this was the first time we actually got up the opportunity here to get below the last important low we got of the false break, and after the false break here, definitely not the classical one which I love, but what we could see here forming, and that's still a possibility, is something like that, and then one more push down. That's a possible scenario which I would keep in mind. So if we get this A, B, C, D to the upside, A, B, C, D, then we can look for the breakout of the trend line and look for the sell opportunities. Okay, that could be the one to continue this correction and take us towards the correction of this special cycle we had on the 4-hour chart and get us closer towards 120, a bit lower, maybe even 118.50. Doable, possible. Watch that as a scenario. If we do not build up this sell opportunity, we are under buys towards new highs 125 and higher. Keep an eye here. Swiss yen should follow as well, and I believe it's kind of 1-to-1 to the euro yen, which later or sooner would make the push up. So keep an eye, choose the one that you prefer best. Alright, that's enough from the yen pairs, even though the pound yen also provide an amazing opportunity. After finishing this cycle, it does double cycle correction. How good it is. And here you go, guys. If we take a look here, very nice movement, right? We are dancing around 150 candles down on first leg, around 50 on the second leg. We are dancing around the top. We could looking for the false breaks opportunities followed by convergence, and we can see that on this bottom we do have a divergence. Not classical, I agree, but still correct. And that brings us to this kind of convergence. It looks more like a range to me now, which means if we are in a range, we need two waves down here, inner waves, and look for the buy opportunities. So we do currently build it up. Potentially we are dancing still here. We might spike it once lower again, but on lower time frames like here, that's what we want to see basically. Okay, that's basically what it is, like this, and potential climb. Even if we continue a bit lower, that still bring us to the buy zone followed by bullish divergence. Now if we take a look on supportive areas, we can find what? We can find very powerful supportive zone right here, right? And that's a daily chart. On a 4-hour chart, we are also on a massive supportive zone. And that's why I said, yeah, even if we do spike through, we are on very good zones, which should provide us more and more buy opportunities. So keep an eye here. Definitely interesting one to follow. Let's continue for the next pairs, and that would be the pound pairs. Pound Canadian, I was looking for buys last week, and I still do. The only thing here was we did not get the buy opportunities we wanted. We have been talking about these levels, right? And they are still there. We're still dancing around the 161.8, but we still did not get false breaks followed by convergence. And that's the importance of patience, right? We still want to see false break completing, going above the last high, pulling back, and then, only then, we could try the buy opportunities. However, is there a possibility that the pound CAD will spike for new bottom? Definitely is, and there could be a monster divergence developing there, and that's why I say very big patience required with the pound pairs. They are preparing the opportunity. It does not mean any specific day we are watching and then we can actually trade them. It's really awesome opportunity which we could enjoy for long days to come, and that's everywhere. Pound Kiwi, pound Aussie. Where is my pound Aussie? Disappeared. Disappeared. Ah, here we go. Okay, pound Aussie. They all actually building up the same story, and we have to listen up to this story. If we will get on the intraday our false breaks and convergence principles, we could trade it. But so far, the last week, as much as I wanted to trade it and try to look for setups, it kept creating new lows. And that for us means we skip and we wait. For the, in terms of statistics, let's take a look on pound CAD. That would be representative for all the rest. We have 17 and 18 as possible bottoms. Not too strong, not too strong. The end of the month and beginning of next month would be much stronger. So there is a good chance that the pullbacks, if we will get them, would be on a short term only. Cat franc is the one I love, and I say that last few weeks, and I will repeat. Every drop down should use us as a buy opportunity. Bottom line. Yes, we could get second leg down here. Yes, we could start to move in kind of a ranging scenario here. Every 2 waves down on the 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart, and look for the buy opportunities. The condition is there is bullish divergence. So pull back down, bullish divergence, look to buy. Bottom line, without making it complicated. Now for a few more interesting situations we have. Aussie franc is, well, very bullish for me, but it's coming to the top of the range it's dancing on for a while. And on the 4-hour chart, it's about to complete this triple cycle, very likely. Right? We have boom, 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 probably. This is where we wanted to go. We wanted to go above this area. We want this divergence to develop itself, create itself, and then on the 1-hour chart, once we are there, and if we are there, of course, right? Here, we start to look for false breaks, to buy ideal, lower lows, correction, and we are going to try the short-term sell. If it's a triple cycle, we would be looking for the middle of it, or at least the 38.2 Fibonacci retrace. Keep an eye, that could turn to be great opportunity together with the Aussie dollar, which I believe is completing a wonderful, here you go, buy cycle currently on the 100, could climb higher towards the 161.8 or so. We will be starting to look for the sell opportunities above these highs, so above 0.7530 through 0.76 is our sell zone. For that to happen, we will still need to get false breaks. We got, no, we didn't have one here. We need false breaks here, 2 in a row by ideal. Lower lows, retrace and sell. Keep an eye, definitely want to follow, and that should happen by statistics on a daily chart. We have 15, 17 to come as very possible days for tops, and if not, we go through these days to after 20s, okay, and that would be beginning of the next week. So keep an eye, it does start this week, on the coming days. If we do not get this setup, stay long, look for short-term buy opportunities to keep the rally, and for the end of this movement, start to look for this correction to come, which will come. Want to follow Aussie Kiwi? My bullish view remains after this bullish convergence we got. We need 2 waves down or pull back down, right? So anything from 104.80 through 104.20 would start to be some buy opportunity to happen there. Definitely want to follow. Dollar Canadian with the cash rate to come there. My view wasn't remain sell rallies, but we need to get the rallies first of all. The pair is completing triple cycle, which might turn to be special. This is the triple cycle I refer to, of course. No false breaks yet, so the continuation could go further. We might get that suddenly as a special cycle down, which would get us towards 129 zone or so before we are rallying. Anyway, the lower we go, the stronger the buy should be. Currently, we remain bearish, and every 2 waves rally, like here, for example, or if it would be in a bigger view like this, should provide a sell opportunity for continuation. Gold and silver, how much I want to deal with that, you can't even imagine, guys. For silver, we are ideally going to here to complete this triple cycle with a bearish divergence and then shorter sells and a buy. Or by alternative, we already completed the triple cycle. We are now dancing around possible range, and that's definitely a possible scenario as well here. Alright, something like that, and if we actually get it, we would be looking for the buy of the bottom of the range for new highs. Great one to follow. Gold following exactly the same. There is a big chance we got the triple cycle, and we are for second leg down. If we do, we'll be looking for possible buys below 1175 down to 1160. That would be our buy zone, where from we are going to look for buys. Okay, keep an eye here for these opportunities. They could turn to be amazing. Euro Kiwi is the one I love as well, and Euro Kiwi is a mystery because according to weekly cycle we should get that higher. That's definitely doable scenario. We already got the corrective cycle on the daily as well, 2 false breaks in a row and a convergence. We got the 4-hour chart, 2 waves down, which provide us 2 false breaks in a row on the 1-hour chart with convergence. Great buy setup. Doesn't matter how much we turn that around. The only thing here we still have to keep an eye, that's the respect of the last bottom. As long as it holds, of course, we could be looking for the buy opportunities. If we break through, let it go, we would be looking for a next zone, and a next zone could be the bottom of this possible range now, or maybe, just maybe, even new low according to this brutal potential triple cycle, which would mean we could expect even new, completely new low. So that's the one to follow as well. Interesting, great possibility, and could provide a lot of pips. Keep an eye. Let's go to the indices and commodities. Oil, still we remain in a bullish view, and the deeper we go, the better the buy should be. In a corrective zone, we got this corrective cycle, and now we are, sorry, this ending cycle here on triple, and now we're correcting that. So we could still get to the 50 of it, which is here. If we do, or maybe even lower, that could start to look like a potential, ideal potential buy opportunity. And I'm not, well, let's simplify that. On the short term, sell intraday or short-term sell opportunities still could work out, but it's best to look to buy on lower levels rather than try to be hero and catch this move. So that's my point of view. S&P and the Dow, well, and anything else. Still dancing around the top. We still need to go below this low in order to really create the sell opportunity to be ideal and amazing. We did have this false break, so this is the bottom of it. By ideal, we should spike it here, new high, and then this would become the low. Again, currently nothing to touch here. The Dow Jones was the basically the one that is moving in the range, and still same story. We do want to get it out for a spike before the sells. Only and only if we get below the last bottom, we might be talking about possible sell opportunities like this. Two waves, breakout and then correction. Okay. But to be honest, not sure how it's going to happen fast before Trump really becomes the new president. So there is a chance that this week we will see the warming up before next week, and there is a very good chance that we will see just arranging moves. And I do believe that we have much better opportunities than this to trade. So that will be all for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed as always to create it for you guys. If you like that, leave your feedback and click the like button. If you have any question, write down if you want me to talk about any specific pair or anything like that. Maybe I've missed from your list. And I'll see you on the daily forecasts. Those of you who are following, of course. Once again, thank you for your time. I wish you a wonderful week with great trading and results. Thanks for your time. Yours, Vladimir.